When you do not clean your fruit properly, so intense in flavor. Why the reason for the water bath? I never do this. And let me tell you why I never do this. And when I say this, I don't eat regular blueberries. I eat these right here. These are grown in Crawford, Prosser, Washington farms. I could tell you right now, it's just that short period that they're in season that just gives it this super intense flavor. These berries, they actually taste like berries. And if you know what I mean, then you know what I mean. Like, these berries are so intense in flavor. They're tart and sweet, and they just taste like a blueberry. If you know what I mean, whenever you've ever had a fruit that's in season, then you'll know that it's just an intensified flavor. Like, for example, think of a strawberry when it's in season, if you ever have one, compared to a blueberry if you haven't. You ever had artificial strawberry? Like that, like artificial candy strawberry? When you have one that's really in season, it's very close to that artificial flavor, not in a bad way. It's close to, like, you taste it, you think, wow, this really tastes like a strawberry. Or when you have a strawberry that's not in season, it's just very lacking in intensity. It tastes like water with a hint of acidity and sort of sweetness like a strawberry, but it's nothing near one that's in season. And that same thing goes for these blueberries. This exact brand though, this is the only one I will eat. And that's because I've gone through so many blueberries and I've tasted the difference immediately. Now what I've got here is just 4 quarts of some H2O and citric acid. I'm doing about 1 tablespoon to 4 quarts of water. My ratio is a teaspoon to a quart. Why am I adding citric acid to water, you might ask? What even is citric acid? What citric acid is, it's basically the crystallized, concentrated form of lemon. It's natural. And you could just use lemon juice for this solution that I'm making here today. I can't tell you how much lemon juice because I don't really work with that, but you could probably Google that if you want. Now, why the reason for the water bath and tossing them into this vortex? Well, the reason being is mold, and I don't want mold. I want my berries to last longer. When you do not clean your fruit properly, it's just not going to last as long. See, bacteria, it's still living on this berry. I want to kill off as much as I can so they can last longer. The acidity helps to break down that bacteria, keep it fresher, longer, and not grow the mold. It actually inhibits the growth of mold. Now, we're not going to get some sort of acidic flavor on this because we're using a good ratio here. 1 teaspoon to 1 quart of water. And I want to preserve these as much as possible. I gotta say, I don't really do this to my fruit often. I eat it immediately, but I want to preserve it because, as you can see, I bought a lot of berries because I love these berries. I could tell you, when I was first introduced to these berries, I would eat these by the handful. And I was introduced to these berries because at one of the restaurants I worked at, our restaurant group, we had our own farm in Prosser, Washington. And these guys, Crawford Farms, they were one of our neighbors to our farm. And we utilized their berries. Every season, we would get them by the tote full, like huge totes of berries in our walk-in. And whenever that happened, I would always immediately volunteer to go organize the walk-in because I would just do this. I would grab like a good handful of berries, shove them in my mouth. My God, it's so good. That's what I would do in the walk-in. I would just eat so many of these blueberries. They're so good. Like, I don't even want to do anything to them. And I even might say each berry, I don't know, depending on the size, has a sort of different flavor. There could be one that's a little more acidic, one that's a little more sweet. So if you eat them by the handful, they just taste better because you're getting all those different flavors mixed in. It's amazing. Certain fruits, when they're in season, I just become obsessed with them and I eat them every day. Right now, that's watermelon, the Hermiston melons. I can touch on that if you want, if you've never heard of it. But This is what we're talking about right now. The mighty blue blueberry grown in Prosser, Washington. They just have a nice sustainability to their farm, and it has something to do with the soil, I think, because in Eastern Washington, it's actually replacing Napa Valley with growing wine because their soil is so rich. I don't know much about it, but I do know it produces the best, in my opinion, best blueberries. I will go crazy on these for however long they last. Hopefully it lasts longer than a month, but it probably won't be longer than a month. It's fleeting. So now that it's here, I just wanted to introduce you to my favorite berry, why I don't eat blueberries all year long and I just wait for these, and I'm probably gonna freeze as much as possible. And this is how you clean your fruit, by the way. 1 teaspoon to 1 quart of water, and that's it. See you next time, bye.